Hi everybody, Merry Christmas. I'm Joanne and from Huckleberry Fabrics, and Deb is on the camera and she'll be doing the second part. And this is our annual Huckleberry's wish list, or our favorite things. This is our 5th year doing it. And if you want to see our past ones, I actually made a playlist on our YouTube video, so you can easily go to our playlist and pick one out. Okay. So the first thing is, I like to buy a few rulers a year, and I actually didn't buy that many rulers, but I did buy one that I'm really happy I did. Advice from Deb. So this is, what was it?
Jojo.
Yeah, not Little Jojo, Jojo. So one of the Stripology books, Mixology, and it uses layer cakes. And I have a Stripology ruler, but this is what I bought myself for it. Stripology squared. And as you can see, Deb will show you these. I love these because I had to do certain cuts for it. So this, I was so happy to get. So yes, that's a great one. So if you want to buy yourself something special or put it on your wish list. And I don't have a copy of our wish list, but we have a wish list here, and you can put what you want on it, and then your family or friends can come in and buy something on the list and get 20% off. You can't buy anything on the list, and this is good till December 24th. Once you do the list, you can add to it, but you can't see it because if someone bought something for you off the list, we don't want you to see it, okay? So come in and fill out your list. The next thing, I love this. I've showed it on one of my videos. This is the wool mat cleaning tool. If you don't have a wool mat yet, you should get one. I absolutely love it. And of course, I like high heat, so I did scorch mine. It's actually really a lot better. It used to be super brown, but I have this tool. So I brought it in the dirtiest I could, and all it is this. Look at that. Isn't that nice? I gotta go around to the corner. So, another one of my favorite things. Definitely a must. Nice, hey? So, wool mat cleaner. The other thing we got in, and I actually haven't tried these, but they have been very popular from our Instagram. And these are, you know, instead of your little Post-its, you can do this. And this would be great for Elizabeth Hartman quilts, which I do a lot of. So there's the jumbo number clips and the jumbo alphabet clips. And what I like about these are they are jumbo. So that's a great thing for your list. Yeah, I think we have more coming, but we don't have many left. This is just cute. So Karrie and I really like, obviously we like cute things. They're just pencils, but they have cute sewing. Like you see, I'd rather be sewing on the pencils. Super nice stocking holder, stocking stuffer. So that's another great thing. And then I really like this. I bought this for my niece who had twins. She actually bought it for herself, and then I had to tell her. And it's the little ghost who was a quilt. And I read it to my nieces, and I actually really love the story. And then I've seen on social media people making this quilt and then giving it with the book. So it's a really nice story. So if you have young people in your life, yeah, it's great. And it says on the back, it's hard to be a ghost when you're a quilt. Okay, really nice. Just creating a pile there. My favorite thing for books right now is this one, Fresh Fat Quarter Quilts. I'm working on my 3rd quilt from here, maybe my 4th. So anytime you can do that with a book, it's well worth getting. So the one I'm working on now is called Stellar. So if you want a good book, fat quarters, we all have fat quarters because we like to buy them because they're pretty. This is a great one. Okay, I have a rotary cutter problem. yeah, I've never worn out a rotary cutter. So this is my newest one. The red one came out this year, and this one just came out, and I've resisted buying it and put it on my Christmas list. So yeah, so 401. But if I don't get it for Christmas, I will get it for myself. Yeah, so you should see my rotary cutter box. Yep. I don't know, have a fetish for rotary cutters. Okay, so the next thing is, I have not tried this. This we just brought in. It's an electric sprayer for your press. So this is Precision Piecing Acorn product. And yeah, pretty cool. If you like to use, you know, Best Press or anything, or Acorn, there you go. So I love to use my spray starch. Da, 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 da. Put these away. Sorry, I didn't mean to disappear. Okay, the wish book. Is the $9.90 on your list? Because it should be. And we have it in the store now, and hopefully we'll do a little video quickly of it. But if you're not in the market for that, there's other great things in the wish book. So pick that up. Okay, the glow ruler. This is pretty neat. I should have a cutter, but if you are like me, I actually have really good eyesight except for close up. But this has a USB for charging, and here is the ruler. Is that not nice? That's pretty nice. Do you want to?
Yeah, put it on top of your quilt.
Or on top of a mat. No conflict in lines when they are lit up. Lit up. Very cool. So that's the glow ruler, and we have it coming in other sizes too. So hopefully they arrive soon, but yeah, that's a big gift. So it's not a stocking stuffer, I would say, unless you have a really good Santa. What I say to my husband is, I want a good gift this year. Things you don't need to know about me. Okay, so box bag template. We have this new this year. So if you want to make a boxed, this is going to make your life a little easier. We have not done a YouTube video on it yet, but this is pretty neat. And then we have 2 boxes of Aurifil thread. So this is the Quilts of Valor. So part of the money they always send out, and these are the threads that are in it. So those are super nice. And then we have the gray line. So if you want a nice little gift for someone, gray thread is always good. That's a nice stocking stuffer. Or if you have a budget for it, you just get 1 spool of gray thread. Nothing wrong with that. These boxes are really cool. And what first got me getting these, so we got lots here, and then the Christmas one, is this. I just think this is so neat. It's a whole poster of the quilt blocks that are in these boxes, but I don't have a wall on my sewing room to put it, but yeah. Anyways, that's what I really just thought that was a cool poster. Kind of like the table for elements and da-da-da. So this one, I'm just going to show you a peek. This has a color card deck, and it has a little helpful poster there, handout. So on the side, I'm pulling the most boring one. So they have, they instruct you on hues, shade, value, and then on the back of them too, if you want to play with your cards and not have anything, I'm going to show you this. On the back of those,
cool.
Yeah, So if you're just going to play with cards, especially in a house that you, even painting, anything, these are just a great item to have. So that's the color card deck. And then I love half square triangles and using my slotted triangle ruler for that. And here's a whole bunch of designs in this one to do that with. So half square triangle blocks are very versatile. And then this is so cute. I mean, really, like, look. So if you want to make the Santa Claus block, there you go. I mean, this would just be a fun project all year. Make one block. So neat. Yeah. And then the other ones, they actually have set 1, there is set 2, and there's set 3 too. And there's coordinating books, but the cards are pretty handy. Okay, and now I am actually stealing this favorite thing from Deb. This is the blade, your old blade goes in it, and you can cut all your little chain pieces or anything actually. But yeah, so you want a home for your old blades, there you go. And they come in a 60mm too. Then I don't often use these, but I really like them because they're silicone tools. So when I'm doing something small or I have to press open a seam, these help. So rather than burning my little fingers, and they have all different kinds of shapes and sizes. So really cute thing. Okay. Oh, and then we have the art quilt calendar. And then we have the patchwork place quilt calendar for 2025. That's super nice too. Okay. So I think I've covered everything. Did I? Yeah, got this, got that. Oh, Fantastic 3. So we do a lot of table runners out of Fantastic 1, 2, and now there's 3. So if you like them, they're coiled books, really great. Okay. I'll give it to Deb. I'll step over all my stuff. You don't want dead air. Here she comes.
Tippy toe.
That's snow day behind us. We did a store tour quilt store tour video, and it's being premiered tomorrow morning, so check that out too. Okay.
Hi all, it's Deb. I've got, some of these might be a repeat, but sometimes they're worth repeating, like Joanne had said. This one is the heat press, the batting seam tape. This is my own from home, so it's easy to take out. You can just see, it's very fine, and it's fusible on one side. So when you fuse, I did this last night. I used 2 sections just to make my pieces work together. And you can see, even if I don't get it perfect, it's okay. I mean, I gap in between my batting, just holding it together so I can quilt it. Low iron, no steam. So I had to dump water out because I'm a steam person. But it's great to have on hand so you can use all your bits of batting. What I also do at home with my batting pieces is, as soon as I finish cutting a big quilt, I measure the piece that's left over and I put a pin in it and write down how big it is and what type it is. So 80-20, this was 80-20. I wrote down the size that was left, so I know what I've got left for my runners, table, well, any table toppers or placemats work great. Or like this, it's going to have 3 pieces in it because I was desperate for batting last night. Okay, so that is that one. Just want to show you, Joanne and I have both done quilts with this gelato jelly roll, but when people see it, they can't see, this is the lightest color and the concentrated color is in the center. So it's really hard to open that up. And I thought if I show you, I've got a quilt, well, started a while ago, now it's on hold for Christmas. You can kind of get an idea of some of the colors and the intensity of them compared to just those outside pieces. So you do get the lighter ones, but they get, and some of them are so cool with the tricolors in them. So this is just a sampling, I've got more, but that gives you an idea. So I know someone was doing applique and wanted petals for flowers. Pretty fantastic, because you can get such an array of colors out of those strips. So the jelly roll can be either used in one project or you can open it up and use it in many projects. So I just thought, since I had it opened up, I could show you what that one looked like. All right. Those are the stickers that Joanne had on her ruler. It's kind of hard to see. There's one called Fiesta, which has 3 colors. It's got yellow, purple, and I don't know, corally or dark, kind of reddy orange. And then my preference actually is this package here. I don't know why. It's got the blue, green, and pink in it. And these will last you forever. I think I've shared most of mine with my students in classes, and I still have a few left. So those ones, and then I know Joanne has showed those before. They're stickers as well. And did you mark your ruler with them when you did it? Yeah. So there's either the numbers, the letters, small numbers, small letters, and actually these sometimes can work really well. Like again, the Elizabeth Hartman patterns too, when you're looking at all of the cuts and you don't remember which is which and you don't want to write them down, you can do the sticker idea. You put them on the Wonder Clips.
Yeah, I think on a creative
works, right?
tool they had like 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts with the same ruler, so that was handy.
Yeah. Can't remember if this book was in last year or just in, or we got it after. Because I know we have shown it. So this is Mastering Your Stripology Ruler. And what is really handy, you can scan and go right to the videos for each of the rulers. So there's the one Joanne showed you. That's a Stripology squared. You can kind of see how the sizes work. So your extra large, your squared, your 2 minis, because the mini quarters came out, which has slits every 1/4 inch, which depending what you're doing can be very handy. Well, look at our products there again. Oh, that was what I was going to show too. We do have these in stock. They're the point trimmers. There's 3 different small triangles in the pack, and they're cut off on the end. So you can put them on the end of your triangles and cut off the tails that you don't want to have. So the cutting instructions are in here. It's nice and big. It's coiled. So you can flip through, and if you need to, you get to watch the video that corresponds to what she's showing. So that's super handy. Last year I did do the flying geese one. Can't remember what it was. There we go. There's a flying geese project. And the ruler, here's our flying geese. And actually they start out quite different than you think. We did do a video. The sound wasn't great, but actually one lady said she still watches it because all she needs to do is see the visuals. So the sound didn't matter. So we can always redo that too. But that's
Kind of like her.
yeah. And then that was a sample that I had showed, and that's a flying geese. So I did all the sizes that I could. I just kind of laid them out in 2 different directions. So I thought I should get that quilted for Christmas, right? Since I started it last Christmas with leftovers, right?
Never mind. Bake my bread.
And you can see I'm writing in my books. Write in your books. You know how we went to school? Those were school books. That's okay. Write in your recipe books. Write in your, I wrote down, like, so I always have reference. So if there's extra things that you need to know or little tips, then write it down here. I don't even know what I wrote. Fold A in half diagonally. So I was giving myself little clues. So write in your books. If you don't want to write with pen, you can use friction markers and steam out the marks. New one though this year is the Stripology Quickies. So this one is using 1/2 yard cuts or fat quarters for the most part. So it's a little different than the layer cake, like her Stripology Mixology were based in 2.5, 5 inch, and 10 inch. So these ones, there's your assortment of quilt, all really quick. And I've got Holly, of course that was my first one picked. I've got that ready to quilt, and that will be done soon, I hope. So another great book, and again, kind of nice if you've got 1/2 yard cuts. She'll lay them out the familiar way. So if you're doing a crib size, it's 10 fat quarters, or she gives you options. So 1/2 yards or fat quarters. So you can have, obviously, 10 fat quarters versus 5 1/2 yards. It means more variety. So you make your decisions accordingly. But quick, again, they come together really quickly. Not dissimilar in colors, are they, on the front? There we go. I have a new piecing thread thanks to one of our customers. And she said, this is the one that Jen Kingswell recommends is the best color she's come up with. And it's color 2375 in Aurifil. There's that. And it does work really nice. I've used it for both my, it's kind of a champagne sort of color, Joanne. What do you think? It's kind of hard to say. But it is quite lovely.
Nice.
And it's Aurifil, the 50 weight, because it's 2-ply. When you're ironing your seams, you have a flatter seam. So that's just, I use Mettler and this. Mettler's a little bit thicker with the 50 weight. I interchange them, but that color's been great. This product we sell out of quite quickly. It's the 505 glue sticks. And what's nice with the color, you can see it when you put it on your fabric, and then it disappears. It'll dry clear. And I was telling Joanne, I put a flange on a quilt or a little project, and usually I stitch down a flange just with a basting stitch, and I just glued it down instead. I went, why didn't I think of that before? This one's also a great product. It's the Acorn Precision Glue, and you don't need a lot, just to hold something in place, like shark teeth, right, Joanne? Krista was, don't forget to show these. They're the color consumers. We used to have, I think they were breezy sheets or something, and we couldn't get, they go into your wash to draw the color out. You can also use it for your clothing as well. If you've got darks, it will not let your blacks go so brown, if you know what that happens. So that will go in with your fabric in the washing machine, not the dryer, even though they look like dryer sheets. I've got, oh, this was a polish kit, and I got one from So Very Smooth because I also, at the same time, got one of my favorite things. This is just a polish, and there's a buffer, and there's little instructions in it that your quilting surface, your table, or just even around it, and I think you apply it, and then you buff it. I keep forgetting I've got this, so I've got to do it again when I do my quilt. And it does help just that surface, just to make it smoother, so your quilting is a little bit easier in moving your fabric.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, but that green stuff makes me want to eat it.
I thought it was kind of, I forgot what color it was. So the reason I got that in is this was again a recommend from a customer. You guys are awesome. We all learn from each other. It's stuck to the package. Okay, it's called a scissor holster. Can you see the holes?
Yeah.
So what I've got, mine, it sticks on the back of this. It's just kind of it's not sticky, but you peel off the back and you just put it on the front of your machine, and I can easily twist it off if I don't want it. I can move it. I've got a pair of scissors, my small Karen K. Buckley green ones in there, and I've got my tweezers that sit right here. So I've got my stash and store beside me as I sew, but this is right on the front of my machine. And boy, it's awesome. So we have it in red, blue, and purple. Those are the 3 colors they make them in. And apparently the story was, it was the granddaughter, a young girl, who came up with this, and they did the old 3D printer. So it works great. I know we've shown this year, but it's the washi tape, the seam guide tape. And so what's handy with that, you can see that one.
So we have a little video.
We've got a little video, and what you're gonna do is, if you were running, you can see that was my fabric and I ran it down the seam, or down the center, okay, I'd be right down the middle. If I ran my other end, it's kind of hard to show here. The other way I can use it is put my point, and I have my 2 points lined up. Then that would be a 1/4 inch, right, with my needle here. Then I'd sew a 1/4 inch away from center, and I could do it on both sides, okay? There's other makers of a similar product, but this was the one that we brought in and have, and I really do love it. And like I said, I think in our other video, mine's been on since last spring, and I haven't pulled it off, so it'll last me forever. Rulers. I think I got a few new rulers this year, and I got more on my list to get. This one we just had in a video. That is the folded corners clipper. This is the extra large one. There's our little handout. So refer to the video, because I think I went over almost all of these steps and how to use it. And the snowball was one of the ones that I took more time to do. And the samples are in here in the Remembrance Day fabric as well. They're all finished. And 2 projects left with the leftover half squares from those. And the other one. I just want to show you. There was the little one. Okay, so that's a folded. This actually would be super handy too. This is the one I've got. This one is from the store, and this one's just a quick one to do up to, I think, 5.5 inch blocks. So this would probably fit most of your needs, but this one has some other applications when you get larger. And I figured out ways that you can actually save your 10-inch square and get 2. So if I remember to do that one day, I will. The half rectangle tool ruler is this one here. And we love the Creative Grids rulers. They've got great markings on them, and there's always steps like A, B, C, and you just follow them. Never get rid of these. And if you do, don't worry, because they're all on, you can go online to get them. And the QR code here, if you just put your phone over that, with the iPhone, you can just use your camera and it'll actually give you the option right away. Or I guess with your Androids, you go through your QR code, your app, and it will read it and take you right to those videos. And these were a couple of patterns that I had done using the half rectangle, and they were quite fun. And then the newest one, we demoed the kitty corner ruler for the fall runner, which was used just in the tip of the leaves here. That was that block on the corner. And what I failed to show in the video, which I had laying out that day, was another block that you could make. So isn't that pretty?
Super pretty.
Now, unfortunately, I was just using scraps. I'd like to do a quilt in it, but that was just stuff I had left over. And then what they did was they took this block, and I haven't finished them all, but that block gets set in the corner. And then, so I think I'll just do a table topper to show how it works. I'll have one here in all 4 corners, and then they've just got that. And I will bring in more of those patterns. It's called Propensity, and it's by Deb Heatherly, who, any of you familiar with some of, like, she's done the Flying Geese ruler, she's done the half rectangle and the kitty corner. So she's got quite a few rulers, and I think she's got a new one out for the Hunter Star that was just released to a ruler. So just to show you, there's the kitty corner block, and then there it is there. So having fun with the different sizes, really sweet. And then you got your quarter square blocks here, which I used I didn't follow their pattern so much. I did follow the pattern, but I used my slotted trimmer ruler for those, following the instructions on the ruler. True grips, they are awesome, and we have lots in stock. They are for any of your rulers that need extra grip. And what's really nice about them, they're kind of are clear. Okay, so they're not going to cover up markings that you've got on your ruler, which is really nice. Anything, sometimes even those tapes that are a bit translucent or opaque almost cover up your lines, so really like those. And, oh, that was a kitty cornered ruler. The newest one's out from Amanda Murphy. These are on my wish list. I haven't bought these yet. So here are the 3 sets of their every semicircle one, and each ruler actually has, I'll have to show you. Can you see this one here, how it's cut out? All of these are the same. You just can't see them under here. So there's 4 rulers here, which does 8 different circles, because the outside is a circle, half circle, and the inside is another measurement. There's another 4 there, and then there is 4. Okay, and this is a quarter circle though. Can you see the difference? Because it's so big of a curve. She's got some great videos out that she put on Facebook over the summer, every couple of weeks, that she does a Thankful Thursday. And she was showing how she used these rulers in combination, which was tough because I'm like, uh-oh, now I need to get all 3 of them. And she showed them in combination with these marking rulers, okay? So if you can, this one is, okay, the 45-degree marking tool. So you can see I don't know if you can see those, there's lines here. So what you would do is you'd mark your lines, and then you would rotate your ruler and mark your other lines. So instead of just having it complete, she did it partial. And she's also got, there's dots along each of these here. that's how you can do your registration marks, right? So you can just use a quick marking pen, and that's in conjunction with these, they give you lines to go to. You could also use straight rulers to do the same designs. And I hope to do a video on how you can do that one day for Joanne to come do with me. So there's the 30 and 60 degree, okay? So you've got the different lines marked, the 60 and there's your 30, right? So same idea, you're just going to have them more spread out than, or different angles, right? 22.5 is also marked on here. So you can keep overlapping these slightly and actually get up to 18 marks if you want to keep going and keep dividing. So these she's used, and what I wanted to show you, if you got your phone, I'm just gonna go, let's see what this one does. Hoping it reads it for me. Read it. There it goes, and I hit Amanda Murphy. Okay, so quilting with rulers and templates, and then if I go into, she's got some new rulers, but what we found, another customer and I both noticed, she's got all her rulers on here, so you can actually go to the clips, even though they don't all have the QR codes. You see I'm going through these. And then if I go down to, you can see she's got tons of sets of rulers. So that's the handy part, is you can just access all of them this way. And then, what is that? Every semicircle. So if I touch, I'm gonna go to it. Sorry. Not letting me. Oh, here, let's just do that one. Okay, so I went into the 45 degree cutting tool. So then you can see, she gives you more visuals on how to work through it. And then, I can't read what that says on that one. And then there's videos, or not videos, there's actually worksheets that show you all of her rulers, including her new ones. So I just found she's just put the QR codes on these 3 sets and the Every Angle Plus ruler that are her brand new rulers. But the links to all the other rulers are available that way. So great Christmas wish list items. And the reason she came up with this one, I've got the Every Circle one, and they're circles that are contained. They're just a solid circle and one on the middle. You can't, well, you have to cut your threads. So you can do a circle and then you have to cut your thread. This allows you to do a half circle and then turn your ruler and do the circle again, but now you have access to get out. And so that's where this came from. And she came up with these due to customers who were asking her for rulers that allowed them to not cut the threads. So, and they were a great addition. This might have been last year too, but Quilter's preview paper. So when you're quilting, I take it, and you can see I've written on this one. I don't know if you can see that. I wrote down what I did. So I used a ruler just to start my across a quilt, which I've got here, and I'll show you what else worked really well. So this would go on top of your quilt, and the nice thing with this is in drawing, I can actually get rid of these lines with hand sanitizer and a piece of batting, so it works great. Or you can use just the whiteboard markers and then wipe it off as you go if you don't want to have it stay on. You see, if I'm testing out blocks, right, there's one there that would have fit in the middle of something. So sometimes it gives me a to scale, instead of on my iPad or just drawing, this is to scale of how my hands are going to have to move. And sometimes that's really important because it's easy to draw small, but sometimes it's harder to go larger when you're auditioning a design. So you can see I've got lots of, here's my other ones. I was actually using this the other day for a student in a class and showed her, put it on some blocks. So we were having fun with that. So this one here though, when I did this design, I used a ruler first. I had one line and I used a seam line, and I was taking the ruler and I just did, that was my baseline for the whole quilt. I should have used masking tape for the linear ones, or painter's tape, sorry, not masking tape. Painter's tape is great to mark your quilts. Then it would have kept my circles more even. But at first I was like, how am I going to, I wanted them about a 1/2 inch apart. So when I was doing the echoing, and I went, oh, I know what we've got, because I use my ruler foot. We have the Echo clips, and they go on the bottom. This is for Bernina products. You might, for your machine, they might have come out with something that is the same, but you can see my ruler foot sits in there, and then I can do it free motion, or I can use it against a ruler. So I did it free motion once I had my lines done here, and that's how I got fairly, I'll show you the back of it because it's hard to see on this. That's the front. And they're not perfect. I've got to do this now a couple more times to get it, to figure it out, but I did get better as I went along.
They do have a right way and wrong way of going on your foot too.
Edge side, see this? Talk about notes. If you don't have the etched side down, which means this is the smooth side and this is etched. If you try to put your foot in this way, you'll actually break that. So I have written it very clearly so I don't forget. Because there's certain things we don't use all the time, and then we do forget, right? So, like I said, right on everything. And then, can you see?
Very cool.
Do they show up? Not perfect, right? We're not machines or computers. But it was kind of fun once I got going. But those Echo clips, that's what made this for me. It was awesome. So I love that. And then, of course, if you're looking at ruler books, this is a great beginner one. Amanda Murphy goes through, she talks about rulers, she talks about machine setup. These are some of her early rulers. She gives you a lot of great tips for domestic and for those of you who might have a sit down or a stand up long arm. Oh, there's those clips right there. So this book was actually her second book, which is actually, it goes right down to the basics. Her first book, this is what I tried to teach from the first time. That didn't work because you have to teach how to do it before you just do it. So there's a whole section just on straight lines. And once you understand how the rulers work, it's easy. But when you look at this, you're probably going, it doesn't make any sense. Once you've learned, then this book makes a ton of sense. And it goes through, so that was straight lines up till here. So these designs that you're used to doing we used to do just free motion. Now you can do with the rulers and using marks on the rulers. Then there's a section, so arcs. So there's a whole section on arc rulers. So it doesn't matter which arc you have. It's just going to change slightly whether it's a deeper curve or a shallower curve. And she shows you different ones. So her book goes through, what do we have? Easy arcs, circles, ovals, and then squiggles and waves, curves and spines. And then that would springboard off onto any other rulers you have. So this is super helpful once you've got the basics. And then Natalia Bonner has this one. It's for walking foot and, it's straight line. So it can be used for walking foot or for your ideas for blocks. She talks about both using your rulers and blocks ideas, right? So that's a great visual, because aren't we all visual? So sometimes I'll just pick it up, flip through and go, okay, that's the one I'm going to do. Because sometimes we're just stuck for ideas, right? So lots of great visuals here that would work for your straight line ruler quilting, which is, if you never do anything else but try that, that's all you probably would need to do if you didn't want to get into circles. Oh, I think that's it. Oh no, one more thing. It was introduced this year by Creative Grids. It's the 14 by 14 inch rotating mat. I do think they've come out now with an even bigger one. Not sure if it was 17 inches square or not. But has the nice, I love the aqua color on the gray for seeing my lines and fabrics. And you can see they've got quite a few markings on here too. Again, you don't want to use the lines on a mat as you're cutting lines. Use your rulers. Even though these can give you good guidelines, but always use your ruler. And then I know Linda Potter loves this one. Joanne hasn't got this one yet, you guys, I don't think. Is it on her list?
Uh-oh.
So this one I got a couple of years ago, and it's quite a heavy cutter compared to other cutters. And then this is just the case for it. I love it. It's weighted, and so I know a couple of people, I let them borrow mine, and it worked great for even arthritic hands, which you think would be the opposite, but it gave them more weight to push through their ruler. So not one person who has purchased this has been disappointed. And Linda texted me and was overjoyed, except she did drop it on her floor, and Pat had to fix the floor that it chipped. So it's sharp, so don't drop it. Well, thanks everyone. We hope to see you in soon. Don't forget those Christmas wish lists. I know some of you had started them. Any of you that want to come in and grab one, we've got them here for you. So have a Merry Christmas if we don't see you.